Friday. At least, I think it's Friday. I broke everything electronic. I smashed my computer to pieces. Every single thing on there could have been accessed by a network access, or worse, altered. I'm a programmer. I know. Every little piece of information I gave out since this started, my name, my email, my location, none of it came back from until I gave it out. I've been going over and over what I wrote. I've been pacing back and forth, alternately between stout, stout, stark terror and overpowering disbelief. Sometimes I am absolutely certain some phantom entity is dead set on the simple goal of getting me to go outside. Back to the beginning. With the call from Amy, she was efficiently asking me to open the door and go outside. I kept running it through my head. One point of view says I acted like a madman, and all this is extreme convenience and probability, never going outside at the right times by pure luck, never seeing another person by pure chance, getting the random nonsense email from some computer virus sent just at the right time. The other point of view says that extreme convergence of probability is the reason that whatever's out there hasn't gotten me already. I keep thinking I never wanted to open the window on the third floor. I never opened the front door until that incredibly stupid stunt with the hidden camera, after which I ran straight to my room and slammed the door. I haven't opened my own solid door since I flung open the front door of the building. Whatever's out there, if anything's out there, never made an appearance in the building before I opened the front door. Maybe the reason it wasn't in the building already was that it was elsewhere, getting someone else. And then it waited till I betrayed my own existence by trying to call Amy, a call which didn't work, until it called me and asked my name. Terror literally overwhelms me every time I try to fit pieces of this nightmare together. That email, short, cut off, was from someone trying to get word out. Some friendly voice desperately trying to warn me before it came. Seen with my own eyes. Don't trust them. Exactly what I've been suspicious of. It could have been masterful control of all electronic, practicing its insidious deception to trick me into coming outside. Why can't it get in? It knocked on the door. It must have a solid presence. The door. The image of those doors on the upper hallway as guardians of monolith flashes back in my mind every time I try to trace this path of thoughts. But there's some phantom entity trying to get me to go outside. Maybe it can't get through those doors. I keep thinking back over all the books I've read or the movies I've seen, trying to generate some explanation of this. Doors have always been such intense focus of human intelligence, always seen as wards or portals of special importance. Or perhaps the door is just too thick. I know that I couldn't bash through any doors in this building, let alone the heavy basement ones. Aside from that, the real question is, why does it even want me? If it just wants to kill me, it could have done it any number of ways. including just waiting for me to starve to death. What if it doesn't want to kill me? What if it has some more horrific fate in store for me? God, what can I do to escape this night? A knock at the door. I told the people on this other side that I needed a minute to think, and I'll come out. I'm really just writing this down so I can figure out what to do. At least this time I hear voices, my paranoia, and yes, I recognize I'm being paranoid. Has me thinking of all sorts of ways that their voices could be faked electronically. There could be nothing but speakers outside simulating human voices. Did it really take them 3 days to come talk to me? Amy is supposedly out there along with 2 policemen and a psychiatrist. Maybe it took them 3 days to think of what to say to me. The psychiatrist I claims to be pretty convincing. If I decided to think this has been all crazy misunderstanding, not some entity trying to trick me into opening the door. The psychiatrist had an older voice, authoritative but caring. I liked it. I'm desperate just to see someone with my own eyes. He said I have something called cyberpsychosis, and I'm just one of the national, worldwide epidemic of thousands of people having breakdowns triggered by a suggestive email that God got through somehow. I swear he said got through somehow. I think it means spread throughout the country inexplicably, but I'm incredibly suspicious that the entity slipped up and revealed something. He said I'm part of a wave of emergent behavior, that a lot of people are having the same problem, same fears, even though we've never communicated. That nearly explains the strange emails about eyes that I got. I didn't get the original triggering email. I got a descendant of it. My friend could have broken down too. I tried to warn everybody he knew against his paranoid fears. That's how the problem spread, the psychiatrist claims. I could have spread it too, with my text and instant messages online to everyone I knew. One of those people might be melting down right now, after being triggered by something I sent them. Something they might interpret any way they want. Something like a text saying, "Seen anyone's face recently?" The psychiatrist told me that he didn't want to lose another one, that people like me are intelligent, and that's their downfall. We draw conclusions so well that we draw them even when they shouldn't be there. He said it's easy to get caught up in paranoia in our fast-paced world, a constantly changing place where more and more of us interact is simulated. I have to give him one thing. It's a great explanation. It explains nearly everything. It perfectly explains everything, in fact. I have every reason to shake off this nightmarish fear that something conscious or consciousness or being out there wants to open the door so it can capture me for some horrible fate worse than death. It would be foolish after hearing that explanation to stay in here until I starve to death, just despite the entity that might have got anyone else. It would be it would be foolish to think that. After hearing that explanation, I might be one of the last people alive in an empty world, hiding in my own secure basement, spotting some unthinkable detective entity just by refusing to be captured. It's a perfect explanation for every single strange thing I've, I've seen or heard. I have every reason in the world to let go of all my fears and open the door. That's exactly why I'm not going to. How can I be sure? How can I know that it's real or is it deception? All these damn things with their wires and their signals that originate from some unseen origin, they're not real. I can't be sure. Signals through a camera, fake videos, deceptive phone calls, emails, even the television lying broken on the floor. How can I possibly know it's real? It's just signals, waves, lights. The door. It's bashing on the door, trying to get in. What insane mechanical, contradictive control of that blah could it be using to simulate the sound of men attacking the heavy wood so well? At least I can finally see it with my own eyes. There's nothing left in here for it to deceive me with. I've ripped everything else apart. It can't deceive my eyes, can it? Seen with your own eyes. Don't trust them, they... Wait, was that desperate message telling me to trust my eyes? Or warning about my eyes, too? Oh my god, what's the difference between a camera and my eyes? They both turn light, they both turn light into electronical signals. They're the same. Can't, I can't be deceived. I have to be sure. I have to be sure. Date unknown. I calmly asked for paper and a pen, day in and day out, until they finally gave one to me. Not that it matters. What am I going to do? Poke my eyes out? The bandages feel like part of me now. The pain is gone. I figure this will be my last chance to write legibly, as without my sight to correct mistakes, my hands will slowly forget the motion involved. This is a sort of self-indulgence, this writing. It's a relic of another time, because I am certain everyone left in this world is dead, or something worse. Sitting against this padded wall day in and day out, the entity brings me food and water. It makes itself as a kind nurse, as a unsympathetic doctor. I think it knows that my hearing has sharpened considerably now that I live in darkness. It fakes conversations in the hallway, on the off chance that I might overhear. One of the nurses talks about having a baby soon, when the doctor's lost his wife in a car accident. None of it matters. None of it's real. None of it gets to me. Not like she does. That's the worst part. The part I almost can't stand. The thing comes to me, masquerading as Amy. Its reactions are perfect. It sounds exactly like Amy. Feels exactly like her. It produces a reasonable smile, a facsimile of tears that makes me feel on its lifelike cheeks. When it first dragged me here, it told me all the things I wanted to hear. It told me that she loved me, that she had always loved me, that it didn't understand why I did this, that we could still have a life together. If only I would stop insisting that I was being deceived. It wanted me to believe. No, it needed me to believe that she was real. I almost felt it. I really did. I doubted myself for the longest time. In the end, though, it was all too perfect, too flawless, and too real. The false Amy used to come every day, and then every week, and finally stopped coming altogether. I don't think the entity will give up. I think the waiting game is just another one of its gambits. I will resist for the rest of my life. I have to. I don't know what happened to the rest of the world, but I know that this thing needs me to fall for its deception. If it needs that, then maybe, just maybe, I am a thorn in its agenda. Maybe Amy is still alive out there somewhere, kept alive only by my will to resist the deceiver. I hold on to that hope, rocking back and forth in my cell to pass the time. I will never give in. I will never break. I am a hero. The doctor read the paper the patient scribbled on. It was barely readable, written in the shaky script of one who could not see. He wanted to smile at the man's steadfast resolve, a reminder of the human will to survive. But he knew that the patient was completely delusional. After all, a sane man would have fallen for this deception long ago. The doctor wanted to smile. He wanted to whisper words of encouragement to the delusional man. He wanted to scream, but the nerve failments wrapped around his head and into his eyes made him do otherwise. His body walked into the cell like a puppet and told the patient once more that he was wrong and that nobody was trying to deceive him.